Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to a channel. Today we are going to be looking at the British heavies from tier 7 to tier 10, and mainly what we're going to be looking at is that the consumable, which is the big speed boost. Now I'm still not sure what to think of this speed boost. Now, currently the speed boost was only for the TDs, the British TDs, which really makes the tanks OP, completely OP, because they're quite quick tanks anyway. So to give them that extra speed is something, and considering they have big alpha guns as well. I mean, the FV4005 can get into a position 50-60 kilometers an hour, get into a position straight at the start of the battle, and they can dish out 12, 13, 1400 damage within 30 seconds of the battle. Now, I think it's a bit different for these TDs. I mean, the Black Prince, using that consumable, it does like 28 kilometers an hour, so it's nothing like major. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't really affect the Black Prince at tier 7. Having said that, the Black Prince is OP enough. It's got that insane DPM, that good armor. It doesn't really need the speed boost, but again, as I've just said, it doesn't really affect it too much. I mean, 28 kilometers an hour. The Carnarvon that goes around 28 kilometers an hour, and so it goes with the speed boost around 38, which is a big difference. That is, you can really feel the difference with the Carnarvon. Now, I get what Wargaming are doing when they are adding the consumable to just certain lines. They don't want to add them to all the lines. I don't know why. I think they just want to just test it out, and eventually they will add it to all the lines. But I mean, we got it on the British TDs, we now got it on the British heavies, and we are, in the next update, we're going to get it on the American heavies, which again, I don't think they are adding this consumable to tanks that, to be honest, doesn't really need it. The E5, it's quick enough as it is. The FV215B, it's quick enough as it is. So you're just giving a tank, a good tank. I mean, the E5 and the 215B, you're giving a good tank something extra. Like, it doesn't need it. It really doesn't need it. But as I've said, I understand that they want to just roll it out slowly in case it is OP. But considering how good the FV4005 is with this consumable, I would have thought they would have maybe changed the consumable. Now, I don't know how they'll change it, whether they lower the time or maybe so you can't use the consumable for the first maybe 30 seconds. I really don't know. Now, I thought this battle here with the Carnarvon was really funny. This poor AMX gets stuck. Because there's only one tank left, I'm just going to leave him, you know. There is no point me pushing him off. He's not really going to do nothing else. So what I do, I kill the last tank and then I push him off. And I just land on top of him, sit there, and I love his reaction here. Thanks. It's just like, he actually meant that as well, like, thanks man. But I don't know, it just made me laugh at the time. So the Carnarvon, you can feel the difference. You can really feel the difference. And the Conqueror is another. Look, this is right at the start of the game. Boom. Going to use the consumable, and we're going to do 40 kilometers an hour. We're going to get into the position that we want to get into within 20 seconds of the battle. So I don't know. As I've said, I don't know why Wargaming are putting this on quick tanks. Maybe put it on, I mean, the Black Prince, as I've said, fair enough. It's a really slow tank. But with the DPM of the Black Prince, does it really need it? Maybe put it on tanks that are not played, you know? Put it on something like a KV3, or put it on something like a T28 or a T95, you know, something that won't affect it too much. Like, as I've said, the Black Prince doesn't affect it too much. But when you start getting the quicker tanks that go 30 to 40 kilometers an hour, using that speed boost can push them up to sort of 50, 60 kilometers an hour. That's a big difference, especially when it comes to start of the battles. I mean, as I've showed you in this Conqueror, we got into the position we wanted to way before the enemy got into their positions, and as they was getting into their positions, we had some shots on them. So I don't know what Wargaming are planning to do, if they are going to add this consumable to every tank. But for me, the consumable itself is too strong. It really is too strong. But I don't know how they'll nerf it. If they'll just keep the consumable but change. But again, here, look, we're going to put that speed boost, and we are going to get around this louver, 43 kilometers an hour, and we can just look how quick we get there. The Conqueror is a good tank, and they've just made it even better than it is. And as I've said, the same as the 215B. But for me personally, as I've said, I would put them on more slower tanks that won't affect the gameplay too much. The T28, that's never played. It's a shite tank. No one plays it. So make it more interesting. Make the tank more interesting by giving it a speed boost that can make it go a lot quicker. I think a lot of the people will maybe appreciate that then. Instead of making good tanks OP tanks, in fact they're not OP. Like the FV4005 is not OP. It's not OP, but the consumables that it's got, the speed boost that makes it go crazy speed, and the consumable that makes the reload 2.1 seconds, that makes the tank look OP. But you take away those consumables, then the tank's just an average tank. So as I've said, I would just personally give it to slower tank. Maybe give it to TOGs, T95s, not an E3, because the E3 is now quite quick for what it is. So I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know when they're going to roll it. If they're just every update, they're going to bring it to a different. As I've said, 6.3, we have the tier, the American heavies getting it, the E5s, the T29s, etc. So I don't know if then the next update they're going to bring it to a different nation or different tech tree, but I don't know what they're planning. Are they just going to bring it to heavies and TDs? Can you imagine this with the grill? Can you imagine it with the grill or something like that? Something so quick. But other than that, I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to bring it to medium tanks? Again, can you imagine something like a Batchat that does 65 kilometers an hour, gaining an extra 10% or whatever it is? I really don't know what they're going to do. But we're going to look at the final battle, which is Kasu. You might have already seen Kasu before in that crazy FV4005, 9,600 damage. He's now playing the FV215B, and at the beginning of the game, straight away, he used the consumable to get into this position so he can get the shots from the enemy. And he's going to use it a few times this battle. So he has 3 tanks down. Now, there is 2 clippers next to him. There's a T57 and an AMX-50B. So he's used that. He's used the consumable. I don't think he used it. I don't know if he used it intentionally or if he just used it hoping to get out, but not. But you can just see here now, even just backing up, you know, round corners, that helps so much. If you don't want to, if you're not intending to use the consumable to sort of get out of sight quickly around the map, then you can use it for just these little instances where now, like for instance with the chieftain in front of him, he could have used the consumable, then just backed up around, reversed around this rock. That makes all the difference. That makes all the difference. And that's the difference between dying and not dying. Now, luckily for him, he's on 880 hit points, and there's still 5 tanks left alive. He's on 3,500 damage. He's going to hold down. He's going to use this tank as protection. You can see he is pumping up the block damage, nearly 3,000 block damage. There's a full hit point E3, and there is a one-shot chieftain. So he's going to go for the chieftain to get him gone for his second kill. So he's now bringing it down to a 2-on-3. But 2 of the tanks are still full hit points, and it's just him and a grill. I mean, the grill can almost be one-shotted. well, he is a one-shot now for any of those three using HE and possibly just AP as a high roll. But now look, ready? In 7 seconds, he is going to use that consumable. He's going to get one shot. Fair enough, he gets the lucky bounce. Now, the Object 263 is now going to back up, and he's going to use this opportunity. He's going to pump that speed boost any second now, just to get into a different location. So one shot, and he is now in a safer location where he can hold down, and he can just show his turret. And that's going to pay off because there's one bounce, 640 damage. So he's now up to 6,000 damage, 4,000 blocked damage. And I'd like to say without that speed boost, he would have been dead. But you don't know. You don't know. You're speculating. Definitely without that speed boost, you'd be dead. You don't know. But it definitely has helped. So now the E3 has taken out the grill. He can get behind the E3, he can get one shot, and this is probably where he needs, maybe he's the speed boost, but he's not getting, they're not looking at him. There's one either side of him, but they are both under the bridge. So he's going to try and get a shot now on this E3, who is just about turning. So he's going to now reset his camo, and he's going to come back from a different direction to see if he can get this E3 from this angle. And again, he's hiding his hole, so he gets yet again another bounce. I love what he does here now. He's going to switch to the AP and just going to hit that engine deck with the HE to clear the E3. So he's now on 6.9k damage, 4,600 damage. And again, he's got another 10 seconds until he can use this speed boost. If he was close, I mean, it's the next time he uses the speed boost doesn't really affect, but it could. I mean, the E3 now misses. He could use the speed boost, which he has, and then just rush in. But he thinks about it. He's had a good game. He doesn't want to mess up now. He's reloaded, which means the Object 263, he's reloaded. So he's just going to play it safe. He's going to side scrape. 263 misses, and he can clear him for his 5th kill. So 7,400 damage, and he blocks 5,000. So that is the speed boost for the UK, the British heavies. Further up the line, it does change the tanks, but as I've said, the Black Prince, not so much. But we're going to see about the USA tanks when they come. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon.